What up, reader fam? Today I'm bringing you my September book haul, and I'm also bringing you a really wrinkly shirt. Hopefully you can't tell it's wrinkly, but I just didn't feel like ironing it today, so Wrinkletown, USA on my shirt. Hey, hey, hey. I got a lot of books I'm excited to share with you guys today, so let's not waste any time. Let's talk about all the exciting books. This next portion of the video is paid promotion with Disney Hyperion, and they hooked me up with a copy of The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding by Alexander Bracken. This is the Booksplosion Book of the Month for the month of September, and our live show is going to be on October 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you're going to want to pick this book up, read it, and join us for the live show. It's going to be a special one, so you definitely want to pick up this book and join us for it. I feel like I've talked about this book non-stop, so I feel like a lot of you guys already know what this story is all about if you've been watching my videos. So to put it nice and sweet, this is the first in a new middle grade series by Alexander Bracken. We follow this boy by the name of Prosper Redding, and unfortunately one of Prosper's great-great-great-grandfathers made this deal with a demon, and the reason this is unfortunate is because his great-great-great-great however great-grandfather didn't stick with that deal, and so now Prosper has to deal with the consequences. That being that he now has a demon living inside of him. What the heck? Poor Prosper! So he's basically just gotta figure out how to get this demon outside of him. If you're excited for Halloween, you're gonna wanna pick this book up because it's got some major Halloween vibes. I've already done a non-spoiler book review for The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding, so if you wanna hear more of my thoughts on this book, I will leave a link to that video down below. I'm working with Penguin Random House, and they sent me a copy of Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart, which is the book that I am currently reading and loving. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart had me shook. I'm only currently 51 pages into Genuine Fraud, and it already has me shook. E. Lockhart is just really good when it comes to the shock delivery. Like, you'll just be reading the book, and this big thing will happen, and you'll just be like, what the heck is happening here? It's great. But she's also really great at breaking hearts with her books, so I'm fully expecting to be broken with this book. There's already something that's happened in this book that had me just a little bit emotional, not gonna lie. This book is similar to We Were Liars in the fact that the description is very vague as to what this story is all about, and I think you're supposed to kind of go into this book without knowing much, which was the same ordeal with We Were Liars, so I'm going to be vague in describing this book. This story follows a girl by the name of Jules, and at the beginning of the story, it's very clear that she's on the run from something. We see her completely reinventing herself, she's getting dressed up in a disguise, and she's being very cautious and suspicious of every person she comes in contact with. So at the beginning of the story, it's told in the present, but then we have a little bit of a shift in the story, and we kind of jump back into the past, and the story kind of starts to unravel from there. Overall, I'm really enjoying this book, and I can't wait to get farther into it. Next up, they sent me A Poison, Dark and Drowning, which is the sequel to A Shadow Bright and Burning. This glorious book right here that I thoroughly enjoyed. And this book doesn't come out till next week, so I'm a little ecstatic to have this book in my hand right now. Like, the second I finish Genuine Fraud, I am diving deep into this sucker. Bless the Lord for getting this book in my hand, because I am so ready to see what happens next in this series. Because this is a sequel, I don't want to spoil anything, but I also don't want to spoil myself, so I haven't read the description for this book. But I'll just give you a few buzzwords for this series that might get you excited about it and might make you want to read this series. Sorcerers, feminists, Victorian England, mystical weapons, magic, ancient demons. Have you gotten excited about these books yet? The first book is actually currently only $1.99 on Kindle, so you should totally go and pick up that ebook if it's still $1.99, which I hope it is by the time I put this video up. But you should go pick up the first book and read it, and then the second book comes out Tuesday, and you can pick it up and read it as well. Next up, I'm working with Harlequin Teen, and they sent me the book Waha, All Rights Reserved, which I am just so pumped for this book because of the concept alone. It just sounds so original, unique, and I am here for it. Basically, this story is set in a world where everything is copywritten. Everything you say and everything you do comes with a price tag. Talk about an expensive world to live in. Like, it makes me wonder what this video alone would cost in this world because I'm saying so many words right now. Anyways, we follow this girl by the name of Speth Jime, which you might be thinking, that's a really interesting name, but I actually read a post that the author wrote online about the main character's name, and it's actually the only name that her parents were able to afford because apparently in this world you also have to buy names. The scary thing about this world is that if you're unable to afford certain things, your eyes get shocked. Like, excuse me? No thank you, stay away from my eyeballs. So Speth, our main character, accidentally starts this revolution after one of her friends commits suicide because he just can't handle the stress of his family's debt. Speth decides that she is just going to go silent. She is just not willing to play that money game anymore, and people start to join her, and it just snowballs into this big old revolution. I love the dystopian vibes we're getting with this book. It's been a while since I've read a dystopian story, so I can't wait to pick this one up and read it. Next up, I picked up the fantasy of all fantasies, and that is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I ended up picking up the UK edition because I love this cover so much more than the US edition. It's kind of shiny and I like that. Everybody always raves about this story. There is so much buzz and hype surrounding this fantasy story, and it has me very curious. And I have just had the desire to read this book recently, so I decided to pick it up. The thing is, I don't know too much about this story. I don't know much about the magic system. I don't know much about the world. I just know that it follows this young man who is magically gifted, and he ends up growing to be one of the most notorious wizards in this world. Which really, what more do you need to know? That already has me curious about this book. It is quite a hefty book, so it's gonna take me some time to get through, but I've heard nothing but good things about it, so I can't wait to get into it. Next up, I'm working with Wednesday Books, and they sent me a copy of I Hate Everyone But You by Gabby Dunn and Allison Raskin. And if you don't know who these authors are, they're actually YouTubers. They used to be on a couple BuzzFeed shows, and now they have their own channel called Just Between Us, and it is hilarious. They have such a great dynamic, and they're both just hilarious. Like, I will cry laugh watching their videos because they're that funny. So when I heard that they had a book coming out, I was like, sign me the heck up. I need to read this book. If this book is anything like their YouTube channel, it's gonna have me laughing my butt off the whole way through. This story follows two best friends who move away from each other during college, and we follow both of their perspectives and the different experiences that they have at college away from each other. And I think a big topic within this book is long distance and long distance friendships, and kind of seeing how that changes their dynamic and how that changes their relationship and just how they deal with that. It definitely seems to be kind of a big obstacle that comes between them, and it's kind of about them getting through that. What I'm really excited about with this book is the format. It's told through text and emails, and if you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I love a unique format when it comes to books. I just like seeing different formats being implemented with books because it just brings a fresh format to storytelling. Also guys, we just gotta take a second to appreciate the hardback itself. Look at that. Look at that detail. Yes. Give us more of this, publishers. Give us more of this. Next up, I got the UK edition of Because You Love to Hate Me. It's pink. Pink and purple, pink and purple, pink and purple. If you don't know anything about Because You Love to Hate Me, it's where 13 booktubers teamed up with 13 authors. The booktubers gave authors prompts, and then those authors wrote stories based off those prompts. And then the booktubers have little pieces of writing in this book as well. And it's full of great stories about villains. I got the opportunity to work with Victoria Schwab on this book, who is one of my all-time favorite authors, and I'm pretty dang proud of the story that she created based off my prompt. Next up, Harper sent me a copy of They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. This is his most recent release, and I just gotta say, the aesthetics with this book though, the aesthetics, so pleasing to the eyeballs. This book is set in a world where on the day you are going to die, you get a text message saying, yo bro, you're gonna die. So in this book, these two boys get this text message saying, hey, you're gonna die. And so they get on this app called the Last Friend app, and this is where these two boys meet, and they end up spending their last day together. Then Harper sent me this book, which I am struggling with how to say a word in this title. So it's Everyone's Alien, but it's spelled with a B in there, so I don't know if it's Alibene. I don't know how to say that, but anyways, I'm just gonna say alien. But it's Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too. This is like a graphic novel-esque book, and this story is basically about this alien who is sent to Earth to study Earth. He finds that he starts to fit in more on Earth than he did on his own planet. He kind of always felt like he was different than all the other aliens, so he kind of really starts to find himself on Earth. And finally, the last two books I picked up are the second and third book in the Nightmares trilogy by Jason Siegel and Kristen Miller, and that is Nightmares the Sleepwalker Tonic and Nightmares the Lost Lullaby. I recently picked up and started reading the first book and instantly fell in love with it. It's got this like spooky, eerie vibe to it, and I'm living for it. The first book is about this boy named Charlie, and him and his father and his little brother move into this house with his new stepmom, and the house is like haunted, and he gets plagued with these nightmares that feel really real, and he's basically afraid to sleep because every time he sleeps he gets visited by this terrible witch who's basically just like, yo bro, I'm gonna kill you. So he's just constantly tired. He has massive bags under his eyes because he can't sleep, and the story is basically about him trying to get to the bottom of what the heck's going on with his nightmares. So because I'm really enjoying the first book, I just decided to go ahead and pick up the second and third book because I have no self-control. Holy moly, that's all the books I have to show you guys today. That was a lot of books. I'm tired of talking, I'm not gonna lie. You guys should let me know down below in the comments if you have read any of the books that I mentioned in today's video. Also, let me know down below in the comments some of the books that you've picked up recently that you're super excited about. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. I post videos frequently on this channel, so if you want to be notified as to when I post new videos, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and click the little bell icon and you'll be notified as to when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye, chew.